within a room I can do. Brighter day for me and you. The best part of waking up is in your cup.
So I guess you guys are probably wondering, Phil, why are you walking down the street like that? Well, it's kind of a long story, but I guess I got time to tell you guys. It all started when I went off to college and stupid bullies followed me, god damn it.
This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the Penny Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down-on-their-luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some Penny their way.
Oh, something new. We'll see how it plays out. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. And as we continue to move on with the news day or news week, if you will, we'll see how things play out with the frequency of the broadcast depending on the length. So we'll kind of wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two videos that will make up our broadcast for today. So that is always a cool thing. Both of them brought to us by Burnell. The first one is DSP, give me tips bigger than $1. And I don't demand money for my content. This is from January 23rd of 2020, our current year of gout. And the second and last video to round out our broadcast is also brought to us by Burnell, as I already stated. Sorry about that. DSP, I'm better than Bad Bunny. Wow. Money comes naturally. Really? And more fundraising on the way. This is from January 24th of 2020, our current year of gout. Let's just go ahead and plug in and watch it. We'll see how that plays out. The Bad Bunny situation is interesting. She kind of got lucky the first time she did all this. And she was able to profit from DSP a little bit. Apparently she liked the gouty money, but either which way, the way she's going about this is not going to end well for her, per se. I mean, it might blow over and she'll just be touched with the stench of DarkSydePhailure. And if you've ever seen like a low tier god compilation where people tip him money, referring to him as the darker DarkSydePhailure, he don't like that. There's a lot of people who don't like that shit. Wings doesn't like it either. We'll see how Bad Bunny kind of deals with it. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not go ahead and sit around unceremoniously. Let's go ahead and get into the broadcast proper, shall we? And let's go ahead and see if we can make your day a little bit better, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG, Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet, nor do I smell my SnortBucks coffee being brewed. But we're going to get right into that. Also, there should be a tasty video either before this or after this. More likely it'll be right after this. And so after that, I'll see you guys in a few minutes, alright? Time to watch me work, ladies and gentlemen. This should be good.
Yes! Now let's play the game!
Warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
And then on Friday, ladies and gentlemen...
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of two videos to make up our broadcast. The first one brought to you by Burnell. DSP, give me tips bigger than $1. And I don't demand money for my content. This is from January 23rd of 2020, our current year of gout. Here we go.
On Friday, it's the premiere of the Viewer's Choice playthrough. And what does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. It means that this Friday we're starting up Donkey Kong 64. The Donkey Kong country game that was on Nintendo 64. Okay? Okay, Junior Mint did a 100-bit cheer, and that actually,
That playthrough is going to suck. I'm just saying, that playthrough is going to be bad. I think he enjoyed the other Donkey Kong games that he's played, probably like mid last year, 2019. But this isn't going to go well for him, I don't think. But we'll see. I guess he's trying to drum in those the kiddies and whatnot. And it's interesting that in early in this current year, 2020, he's capitalizing off Nintendo titles in a much more frequently than he did in 2019, which, you know, you would think the moment he could start monetizing Nintendo content, he'd be all over it. But he didn't, for whatever reason. Paranoia, laziness, probably a little bit of both. So we'll see how it plays out, but I don't think it's going to be very good. Honestly, he should have just... it's not going to be very good. But we'll just go ahead and see how it all works out. DSP News.
that actually is the top cheer of the day. And of course he uses this to insult me, of course. Ready? Ready for this insult? Luckily, I just let these insults roll off my back. But he says, Phil, did you hear this new Asian flu has now come up in Washington State? Just so you know, the symptoms are constant sniffing and throat clearing and heavy hair loss. All right, well, there you go. Obviously that's me. To a T. 100%, I must have it. I must be the primary carrier of it in this state, right? How else, you know, what else would it be? Thanks very much for the insults. I always appreciate being insulted on my pre-stream, Junior Man. And thanks for the cheer during the insult.
I want to be a human.
PW Dubs tipped me $1. He says, Hola, Senor Phil. Yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of the swatting attempt. No, it was not. The swatting attempt that happened to me, first of all, it wasn't an attempt. I was swatted. There was no attempt. I was 100%.
I still think that was a wellness check, but that's just me. Because like I said, if it was a swatting, he should have had his door broken down. It could have been a lot uglier than it was. Like I said, I don't think it was a swatting. I think it was just a wellness check. And the way he shrugged it off when he came back kind of reinforces that. But what are you gonna do?
Swatted. The police showed up. I was pulled out of my house. It happened in June.
The fuck? No, you weren't. You weren't pulled out of the house. They asked you to come out. They got on the little blowhorn thing, or bullhorn, or whatever, and they asked you to come up out the house. And that's when he was like, "Hey, honey, I think we got some cops outside." And they walked their ass outside, quiet. That's what happened. He didn't get pulled for shit.
June of 2015. I can tell you exactly how I know that, because I was playing Batman Arkham Knight, which was the final Batman game from Rocksteady, and it was a new release, and I think it was like the second or third day maybe that it had been out. these people have been trying to fuck with me for the longest time. Earlier on that week, when it was the night premiere of Batman Arkham Knight, they had DDoS attacked me. They had actually attacked my modem and knocked me off the internet like multiple times during that stream to try to fuck with me. But I didn't quit. I kept pushing forward, and these people were so annoyed that I would not go away and I would not be deterred by their really fucked up stuff they were doing to me that they pushed it a level further and they swatted me. Okay? So they were absolutely incorrect. No, this is not the 5-year anniversary of me being swatted. That would be coming up in June.
It's a gamer shit. Hell yeah, it's a lot of gamer shit.
But regardless, let's see what you're saying here. He says, how far you've come from this is amazing, and I'm proud of you. Well, thank you very much, PW Dubs. That is a very nice message, and I appreciate that. Thank you for the $1 tip. Let's get you up on the leaderboard as the first tipper of the day. So before I continue on, there is something that I want to say. As you guys know, I'm very appreciative of all your tips. Okay, however, you know, a lot of people have been coming by and giving $1 tips, and they give like a ton of them. All right, and that's great. Thank you for that. But you may not realize the way PayPal works. The way PayPal works is they charge a flat fee per transaction. All right, so every tip that you give me here on a stream, they take 30 cents or 30. I think it's like 33 cents, something like that, or 36 cents, something like that, per each transaction. Okay, so for example, let's say PW Dub just tipped me $1, and he tips me.
I think he talked about this last year. I'm pretty confident he did, and I know he talked about it in 2018. So anybody who's been a long-time viewer kind of knows this. And as it happened those 2 times, yeah, people tipped a little bit over, or they agreed to pay the transaction fee or whatever the case may be to cover it, but eventually that's going to fade out. So at the end of the day, someone tell Phil, shut the fuck up and take your little 67 cents or whatever the case may be and be happy with it. With love, GTG.
$10 today. Okay, each an individual dollar. Well, guess what happens? PayPal takes 30-something cents every one of those. I only get 60 cents per tip. So in reality, he may think that he's tipping me $10 and he only tips me $6. Okay, all that money goes to PayPal.
So what? At the end of the day, he got what he wanted. You got something. I mean, it is what it is. Now you're trying. It's bad enough that you're well, not bad enough, I guess, because they structured it that way. But you're already cutting Twitch out of their money, or out of money, I should say, because you're asking people to tip you over cheering or subbing, even though in actuality, access for all 3. Now you want to try to cut PayPal. You want to try to just give PayPal their flat little fee and have the people who are giving the contributions cover that, so you can get your solid $1. Wow, that's pathetic.
PW Dubs had just tipped me $10 in one tip. They only charge one transaction fee of 30-something cents, so I actually would get $9.60. Do you see what I'm saying?
Wait, now that I think about it, can't Phil, since it is his stream, it is his hug box, can't he set the minimum, like set a minimum, I should say, for tips? Can't he, I don't know if he can or not, but like, is it possible that he can go in and be like, oh, okay, so the minimum tip that I'm willing to take on the stream is like $2. Can he set that up in Streamlabs or Stream Elements? Is that a thing? And if so, why don't he do that? Just go about it that way, if that's the case. Because this isn't going to last long. They're not going to tip him $1.30 forever. So maybe he should try to go about it in a different way. Just throwing it out there.
Do these smaller tips like this, it's cool. Listen, I'm grateful. I'm not complaining. But it's actually a little counterproductive because you're giving way less than what you're intending, and PayPal's taking a bigger cut. So I don't usually...
I'm grateful. I'm not complaining, but it is counterproductive. Bitch, give me more money. Gotcha.
Mention this, but I've mentioned I've seen recently that some people are coming in and doing $1 tip, $1 tip, $1 tip, $1 tip. Okay?
Here's the other thing, guys, and I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. People who actually support me understand that when you tip $1, it doesn't really help that much, because when you tip $1, PayPal takes 40.
You gotta love SnortBucks. You gotta love SnortBucks. He said this. He said this a few times before. He's already ran through this, and it didn't last long. Hence the reason why he's reiterating it. So maybe we should change up. Just an idea.
30 to 40 cents out of that. So every $1 tipped, I get like 60 cents. So the difference here is, I want to support Phil tonight, so I'm going to, tip him. I was going to do $5 tips. I'll do a $5 tip because I know they take one fee versus, Oh, I'm just gonna keep tipping $1, so Phil has to keep saying stupid shit on his stream. And I know he doesn't get much money, but I still get my
It's
check.
stupid shit for you to acknowledge someone who sent you $1. Wow, that's a nice way of that's a nice way of explaining what the fan base is and what they contribute to you. Well done there, Phil. Well done. And he wonders why he has those slow nights. Worst nights, my slowest streaming night of my life. He wonders why situations like that happen. Go figure.
Out. You see what I mean? Make them bigger so that way they're more significant, you know?
So, just to forewarn you, that's what's going on. You're giving more money to the payment processor doing it that way. So, consider if you want to be more supportive, doing it more in a bigger chunk, you know, it would make more sense and it helps me out more.
All right, it's pure greed and theft. It's illegal. This guy is a thief. It's greed and, oh, it's Phil's greed. Oh, it's greed. Phil wants more. He always wants more.
The Bum Life tipped me $1, asking me, why do I constantly exaggerate time? You act like 10 years equates to a million. Stop trying to fabricate time just to get people to forget about the incident. The internet never forgets. The incident will be played during your service. Have a good one. The incident. What are you talking about? Like, we all know about the incident. We know it happened. I think that most people have kind of realized, okay, it happened. Yeah, Phil will never live it down. People will always bring it up and we'll always have a chuckle. But, you know, there's a difference between people who, like, get that and say, okay, let's move on. Let's have a fun stream today. Versus idiots like you who are just going to sit here and focus like that's all we talk about constantly. Like, maybe if you have the brain of a pea and the maturity of, like, a 3-year-old, you think that it's funny to reference something that's a long time ago. I don't even know how long ago it was. I don't care. It's in the past.
Wait, so we know exactly when the swatting was, but we can't seem to remember for whatever reason on when was the flappening. And when was that, by the way? That was what, May 1st, I think? Or May 5th? Something like that. The anniversary for that is coming up. But we can't remember that at all. Even though he did remember it last year and had a chuckle over it. And he did remember it the year before. But in 2020, we don't remember that. But we can remember the quote-unquote swatting. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Forward to the future and we have fun together, right? You're just being an idiot. So thanks for the $1 tip, stupid idiot.
Every single day he comes in, he's toxic. Please understand that I'm not toxic. I'm not.
Froggins did a 50-bit cheer. He says, I was catching up with your Pokemon Shield playthrough when you started talking about how you have no idea why some streams are very supportive while others are not. Maybe you could directly ask us what compels us to contribute to your streams. You can use that as constructive feedback, especially in light of your recent financial revelations. I mean, truth of the matter is that I don't want to talk about money all the time.
Truth of the matter is he doesn't give a fuck what prompts you guys to give him money. Just give him money. That's the reality. I'll save you guys the trouble.
Matter is that when I seem to have a good stream and enjoy myself, in general, you guys seem to enjoy that stream more. And the less that I talk about money and finances and all that shit, the better. However, there are times when I notice, oh my god, there's a stream that's like insanely slow for contributions. And, you know, realize this is my job. If I want to keep going and make ends meet or whatever, that I do, you know, look to try to bring in some contributions every stream, right? So
It's kind of a double-edged sword. The more I mention money, the more annoying the stream can be to the common viewer. But the less I mention money, sometimes I'll get a slow stream and then it's detrimental. You see what I mean? Just a reminder, guys.
So basically, he has to beg to live. If he doesn't beg, then no one will you know, contribute. Basically, it's really sad because it doesn't really work that way. But all right, whatever.
If you want to help me out, and please, you know, if you can today, please tip me. Like I said, yesterday tips were really, really light, and tomorrow I'm actually going out earlier than usual this week. So any tips you know today are going to directly help me, like, afford my groceries and stuff tomorrow. So please tip me if you can today, okay, guys?
I think he's hit a not to say that it's a new low or an all-time low, but it's pretty low to have to say that you know, hey guys, think about everything he's ever asked you guys for. Oh, I need tips for my taxes. I need tips to afford games, to afford peripherals, to afford my taxes, to afford my back taxes, to cover overdraft fees. Now I need tips to pay attorney fees and shit like that. Funny, ridiculous, dumb shit. Now I need the tips to cover groceries. Groceries, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just for the record, This idiot gets paid by PayPal on the 1st. He gets paid by Twitch between on like the 15th, and he gets paid by YouTube somewhere between the 20th and the 25th. And we need tips in between all of that to make groceries? All right. Oh, and mommy and daddy Burnell still send them money too. Just keep that in mind.
So it's kind of like finding that balance.
And who knows how much money he's taking in donations behind the scenes, since on his Streamlabs, he removed whoever the top tipper is for the week. And his Mugsy link is still open, at least to my understanding. So who knows who contributes to him through that. Just something to think about.
And what you're saying here, I agree with you, Froggins. Like, I don't know what it particularly is that may compel a person one day to be supportive and another day not to be, or, you know what I mean? Like, some days, I'll just be doing...
Why would you expect anybody to contribute to you all the time? We all saw where that got Brightside Viking. So why would that be a thing? Like, which just goes to show how much of an unrealistic motherfucker DarkSydePhailure is. That he expects you to contribute to him every time you show up to the stream. You should have your wallet or your purse open or mommy's credit card available. Hey, Derek, and ready to donate. That's insane. That's insane. Now, if it's a couple of bucks here or there, then that's fine. But Phil's fishing for bigger money than that. That's kind of ridiculous.
Normal streams. No, I'll feel like I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary, and all of a sudden some people come in and we get a really support. People are coming in, I want to do a hype train today. Let's get a hype train going on the stream, right? So we'll start doing hype trains and stuff, and it's like, damn, that's awesome. People are being so supportive, and it's amazing. And then some days, I swear I'll be doing exactly the same thing. I'll be putting out the same kind of fun, entertaining stream. We're all having a good time together, and contributions are really low, I don't think you can really control it as a streamer. I really don't. Yes, to some extent you can say, okay, I'm in a special situation where I really need you to rally your support today for a cause or whatever. And that's different. But just in general, just doing a regular...
How's that different when every day, that's all you're doing is rallying support? As you just said, groceries, taxes, whatever. Every day there's a new cause. Every day there's a new charity. Every day there's a new situation. There's a new emergency. He makes it sound like all these instances in his life where he needs large amounts of money are just every once in a while. When in actuality, if you think about it, it's literally a day-by-day thing. If you want to be generous, you could say week by week.
During a day, I don't think you can really control the day-to-day stuff like that. And that's okay, In general, what I found is that as long as I'm putting out the same level of fun stream for you guys every day, that in general, people will... The
same level of fun streams, i.e. lazy content. Why would you guys expect him to do more if he just does the same shit, you guys give him the same amount of money? Which makes it counterintuitive to give him larger donations because he has no plans of doing more work to be deserving of it. And if you guys remember, ladies and gentlemen, a tip is optional. You're tipping him because you believe he did a good job or you were able to take some type of entertainment from it and you want to be generous and give him something back. But if you're getting the same old bullshit day after day after day, and it's debatable whether you consider that entertainment or not, why do you feel that you need to throw money at him day after day after day? Especially if he's not striving to do more, to be better. Just throwing it out there.
Supportive when they feel like it evens out. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, if there's something crazy going on behind the scenes and I need some extra help, I'll let you guys know. And in general, you guys have always stepped up and been supportive during those situations. So it works out. If every day I turned into, oh my god, it's a crazy situation, I need help, that would not work. You know what I mean? That would be completely, first of all, disingenuous of me to be saying that constantly, because that's not the case. I only do
no self-awareness at all.
Special streams and things when I actually really need the help. And, I would feel like, what they call it, the boy who cried wolf? Or Chicken Little, the sky is falling. If you're constantly acting like that, basically you make it a commonplace thing, and then therefore people aren't going to help because they're going to be like, dude, it's just constantly you're in trouble, I don't care anymore.
Tips were pretty slow today. Hopefully tomorrow we can pick that up a little bit because that helps me out with my coming week. My day out, I pay with stuff with tips, so hopefully things like that will pick up tomorrow. I feel now that things are easier for me now. Whenever there's a crisis and I need help, you guys help me. Whenever there's a situation, you know,
and when is he ever going to help himself? Yet again, those people who give Phil money, you're killing them. You're killing them. Because now, as he just said there, he doesn't have to worry about having any sense of urgency. He cries and complains to you guys for help, and you guys help him. He doesn't do anything to warrant that help outside of crying and complaining. He doesn't do anything for himself because he expects, and in some ways, he knows that you guys will take care of it for him. He's not getting any better. If anything else, you're giving him more incentive to get worse. Just think about it. 10-year plan, getting a real job, and then he'll cut his streaming schedule in half so he can fit in a real job. Despite the fact that that doesn't make any fucking logical sense whatsoever, because if he can use begging to get him out of the situation, out of all this debt and everything else, once he's out of it, why would he want to go and get a real job? He could just continue to beg and complain. He'll just find something else to beg about. I don't know. Semantics, I guess. DSP News.
you know what I mean?
In addition, I hate to say it, as I said already on pre-stream, there's been this issue with certain streamers who just seem incredibly ungrateful for anything that they get. They're in this mentality that like, oh, because I'm putting out a stream for you, you better pay me or I'm going to turn the stream off. Like, there's people, I guess people reference LTG, I guess infamously at one point. He was like, if I don't get a certain amount of tips, I'm not turning the webcam on and shit like that. I don't know if that's true. That's what people have told me. If it's false and it's a misconception,
Now, I want you to listen to this just a little bit longer because I want you to hear how shaky he is when it comes to this. Now, keep in mind, Phil follows Low Tier God on Twitter, I think. And he's actually, and every once in a while when Low Tier God says something that appeals to Phil's interests, usually about the FGC, Phil is quick to go ahead and insert himself into that. So keep that in mind. I'll see you guys in a second.
completely apologize for even saying it on my stream. But I would never do something like that. You see what I mean?
So as you, the YouTube viewers, there's two things.
Now, the reason why I wanted to point that out is because I don't know what Phil's long-term plans are with Low Tier God, or what he's in his own mind, I should say, is coming up with as a long-term plan. But he's trying very hard, and he has been over at least the last, certainly last year. Because last year LTG was talking some hot shit about the FGC, and Phil came to his, I wouldn't say he came to his defense, but he did come in there and chime in on that nonsense. Phil's done that a couple times last year, actually. I don't know what Phil's initial idea is, but Phil, for whatever reason, is trying to develop some type of kinship with LTG. Low Tier God isn't stupid, so he ain't gonna fall for that. But what is ironic, in a lot of ways, is that same kinship, if you will, is the same thing that Wings tries to kind of extend to Phil Burnell, to DarkSydePhailure, to DSP. And DSP is quick to shrug that shit off. So it's kind of interesting, right? Like, let's remix the scenario a little bit. Let's say there are aspects about LTG that DSP respects, and DSP would like to kind of be on better terms with him. Okay? Whereas, so let's say that's the scenario. Well, Wings is theoretically, or one could surmise that Wings was trying to do the exact same thing with Phil, and Phil immediately shrugged it off. Not only did he shrug it off, but he shitted on him. Not only did he shit on him, but he let his audience shit on him. So, if, for example, LTG later on down the line ends up deciding to really shit on Phil, Phil has no one to bitch at but himself because you did the exact same thing to Wings. Some could say that, in the exact same manner as, what's that guy's name? Rich from Review Tech USA. He kind of tried to be cool with DSP. Don't know why. Fool's errand, but whatever. And look at where that got to. But then it's also kind of interesting too, right? Like, because DSP will take some really ugly shots at Rich, and Rich don't ever fire back on him. And he says because he feels bad and he knows what he's went through and so on and so forth. But in truth, Rich from Review Tech USA has done some of the same shit that DSP has done. Just saying. He's spurred off on haters. He's had people deplatformed. He's had videos taken down. It's not like just because you're losing all that weight means you get to walk out of that clean. You've done some of the same shit. Just saying. So if DSP every once in a while throws a shot at you, what do you have to lose to throw a shot back? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Not that I'm trying to advocate for anything. I'm just saying I find it very, very strange that Rich would let himself get shit on like that and never has a response back. Very weird. And you could say, throw out the argument that, oh, well, whenever Phil does something really, really stupid, Review Tech USA will report on it. Well, what doesn't he really report on, to be honest? So that doesn't mean too much either which way, but fair enough. We can throw that out there. We can go ahead and administer that into evidence. That can be a thing. Amazing.
You can do to help. Number one, you can attend this Saturday's stream. Check out the actual stream at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DarkSydePhailure. I'll be streaming 10 a.m. to 10.
Oh yeah, what was this? Was this the whole YouTube needs to step up video, or he really needs or was it what? Or emergency? I really need your help, or whatever lame ass title he had. And I can say that because my titles are lame too. But it was that. I think this is what that video was, and he did that a couple times over the years too. Just saying. It's not like Bad Bunny just woke up one day and started doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? She picked up some of it from somewhere.
p.m. on March 23rd. Come by, say hello, and contribute. Only tipping that's going to help. Now, if you absolutely cannot...
Wait, he said the marathon was March 23rd. The marathon was March 23rd. And then he did another special event too, right? Like maybe like a week after this before he left to Connecticut. So I was right. He did. Well, I was wrong about the Jasper situation. That was later on down the line. But he had pretty much 2 events to raise funds before he got married. Then his parents paid for the trip, and we still got Emerald 7 money in there too. But then he basically thanks Emerald 7 for him getting married. Despite the fact, for allowing him to get married. Despite the fact that his parents had basically paid for that whole wedding situation anyway. And he had $2,200 from one fundraiser before that wedding, plus whatever he made off this situation here. Yikes. I'm glad I thought about that though. DSP News.
Make it to the stream on Saturday, all right? You can still leave a tip. You can still do it. If you watch my videos all the time here on YouTube and you appreciate the fact that despite the fact that YouTube makes me almost no money whatsoever.
Now think about it. Didn't he have an event on his birthday too? And that was before he got married as well, wasn't it? Or was he already out of town when he got married? Or no, was he already out of town when his birthday happened? Because his birthday is April 6th. He didn't get married till the 10th, which means I'm thinking he left town. I'm thinking they left town, what, on the 7th? Or did they leave town later that night on his birthday? On the 6th. Because they left that Sunday, I think. Here, I'm sorry. We're going to derail for just a second. Just because I'd like to at least look at a calendar and maybe I can surmise how that worked out. Okay, so Philly Boy was married on the 10th. That was a Wednesday. I'm right. I am kind of right. So he had this fundraiser here in May. All right? Not May, in March. Towards the end of March. Then that was that little marathon thing. And then his birthday was on that Sunday. I think he actually had a birthday celebration, quote unquote, that Saturday. That Saturday they had a birthday celebration. Sunday, I think he had a birthday stream, but I think that was only during the day. I don't think he did anything that night, if I remember correctly. So I am right. So this guy had a couple of special events from late March leading up into early April before he got married. Where'd all that money go? Just something to think about.
However, to upload the videos here, I really do it as fan service for you guys who've been longtime viewers of mine and love watching my stuff.
Oh, and King Tut and Emerald 7, all that money was in 2018. So my bad on that one. So consider that a correction on my part. I don't know. That's still a lot of money though. Between end of March leading up to early April, that's unaccounted for, or at least a decent amount. But we're still thinking Emerald 7 though, for allowing him to get married in April. Just something to think about.
A lot of you even say you can't watch the live streams for whatever reason, but you can watch the on-demand videos on YouTube. Great. Please, if at all you can, please be supportive and leave a tip. You, the YouTube viewers, people who only exclusively watch on YouTube, I really need...
Wait, so that was actually a pretty good freeze frame there. So wait a second. So he doesn't want to have a rebroadcast of his streams for the people who can come to Twitch later on that night and watch it overnight and interact with the chat with other people who are watching too. For those late night viewers, if you will. He won't do that because he can't moderate it. But he'll demand, he wants to encourage the YouTube audience, which some of those people are probably those who would want to have late night reruns on Twitch, to go ahead and give him money anyway, but not do anything extra. And then hide behind the caveat that he has no one there to moderate the chat. Despite the fact that he could put filters up that kind of takes care of that, or at least minimizes most of those issues. Fuck out of here.
Your support. This is it. This is the most important stream coming up I've ever done, because I need to raise these funds, and if I don't, I'm done. I'm probably going to have to sell my house and have a horrible year where there's going to be all kinds of less streaming because I have to move and figure stuff out. It's not going to be good, okay? It's going to be a very stressful, negative thing that, honestly, do I deserve?
And then less than a year later, we're going into bankruptcy and foreclosure. You did it. You did a great job there, Phil. You really had shit figured the fuck out, didn't you? Modern day businessman, ladies and gentlemen. The absolute renaissance man. Really is.
No. I've worked my butt off, and it just sucks that so many things have happened in the past few years to screw me over and make me not able to afford my taxes at this point, that I need your help. Now, you want videos on YouTube?
Where's Vince McMahon at? Phil should sue him. He got, I mean, if you think about it. let's play a hypothetical pignosis here. That's a fun game that we like playing here. If you think about it, it's Vince McMahon's fault. Because if Vince McMahon didn't have all those oiled up buff men there, Phil wouldn't be attracted to it, and he wouldn't have thrown $40,000 on the game. Just saying. If you go by the scenario that Almighty Tevin, praise be, had thrown out, that will possibly fit into Phil's endgame at the end of all this, with Phil coming out of the closet. I mean, theoretically, one could look at the scenario and be like, well, Phil couldn't help himself. He couldn't control his urges. I'm just throwing it out there as a scenario. Yet again, hypothetical pignosis. I wonder if he's going to drag Vince McMahon into court. That'd be funny.
Pledge to Patreon. What I'm hoping for is the best. I'm hoping that we'll have some generous parties who will step up and contribute and help. Some people are saying, when you say step up, that's offensive. Well, to me, it's not.
I always view any kind of contribution as something extra from just being a viewer. And I'm grateful that anyone would support me in any way. So to have that kind of mentality of, I deserve something because I decided to turn on my stream today, I think...
Well, I mean, when you're telling people that sending you $1 is kind of useless and they should send $1.30 so you get the full buck, what does that mean? Just saying... I understand that you're trying to say, well, when you guys send me $1, because I'm not completely obtuse to the situation. Oh, you guys send me $1, I mean, I'm only getting 60 cents. You know what I'm saying? You're letting PayPal get get their 30, you know what I'm saying? And whatever. So send $1.30 so then you can feed PayPal and you can feed me. Does that not sound a little bit entitled? By telling them to tack on an extra 30 cents so you can get the full $1 because you feel that you deserve it, because you feel like you've earned it? I don't know. It sounds kind of entitled to me, but whatever.
It's fucking ludicrous, okay? I think that, if anything, in the 11 years that I've done this, I found that if you put out quality content, people will like you, and you're going to get people who support you no matter what. You don't have to constantly be slamming those people asking, why aren't you contributing? But, that being said... Also, every once in a while, it may be a good idea to just say, hey, today's a slower stream, FYI, if anyone wants to contribute and help pick it up, please do. It's all about finding that balance. And I think some people are always going to have issue with anyone who ever even mentions making money. And some people will always have issue with the fact that you know.
That's not necessarily true either. There are plenty of people out there who have PayPal, who have other means that you know, you can contribute to them to give them money, and they're not egregious about it. Phil's egregious. It's outright begging when Phil does it. That's what it is. I don't care what anybody says. That's what it is. At least that's my opinion of it. Bad Bunny is taking that shit to the next fucking level. Now, granted, what she did is kind of no different than what Phil has done, to be honest. It's just, apparently, I guess her balls were big that day and she felt like she wanted to throw it in people's faces. And that's what she did. There's going to be consequences to that later, but that's kind of what the situation is. It's really not that different from any type of rant that you've ever heard Phil talk about when it comes to money, to be honest, or not getting enough money. It's not too different, to be honest. Like I said, outside of the fact that she was a bit more egregious about it. You know what I mean? She didn't, I don't know what her problem was that day. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe she needs to learn how to keep her legs closed more on stream. I don't know. But either which way, it wasn't a good look. But then again, it's Bad Bunny. She's kind of already shown us the early symptoms of this pig syndrome, if you will, of this entitled streamer type syndrome that is starting to become more and more frequent, at least among certain people. DsP isn't a rarity to this. He's just extremely well known for it. There's a lot of people who do something similar to what Phil does. It's nothing, and it's not anything particularly new and whatnot. It's just some people come to the realization that it may not be worth doing what Phil does to get what Phil has. And yes, you can say that, oh, well, Phil makes 6 figures, but what is it worth? But for someone like Bad Bunny, she has enough white knights to protect her that she thinks she can make that pop off. But they're just spurgs anyway. So who cares? At the end of the day, they wouldn't be able to care. They're only good for carrying the flag onto the field. After that, they're just going to all get mowed down. And she realizes that. I don't know. We'll talk about that more when we get there.
Oh my god, this guy's on stream every day and there's money involved and blah, blah, blah. You know, you can't fix that. You know, that will always be a factor. For me, I've tried to find that balance. And getting back to the subject, the tip here, or excuse me, the cheer here, I don't think, Froggins, I'm ever going to 100% understand what compels people to contribute. And the truth of the matter is, I don't want that to be the end-all be-all of my streams. I want us to have fun and have a good time. That's the purpose of me doing the streams to begin with. And the money comes in as a secondary thing, or as a result of that, that's great. But I don't want this to be... I'm not streaming to raise funds. I didn't make the videos on YouTube. You know.
I'm not streaming to raise funds. Take that in. Take that in.
When I started on YouTube 11 years ago to make money, I couldn't even monetize them back then. This is all for fun.
That's not true either. He couldn't monetize gameplay videos. He was making money off his vlog videos. He was accepting donations to buy games and to buy other peripherals. Yet again, I'm getting tired of hearing that nonsense from him about I never made a dime on YouTube, when it was very obvious that off his vlogs you were, and off of your gameplay you were too. Because people were sending you donations. Large donations. He's admitted this in some of his older videos. So, just because he wasn't paid directly, meaning that directly through YouTube, or directly by YouTube, I should say, doesn't mean he wasn't getting money through YouTube. Gaming or vlogging.
Having a good time and, you know, in true enjoyment of the game. I keep telling you guys how I'm different from a lot of other people because I do this for the passion of it. I don't do it to make a buck. It's cruel that I can make a buck doing it, but that's not what I'm here for, okay?
I'm good at lying.
Pedacito.
You're known as a beggar, but you're gonna sit there and say you don't stream for contributions. You don't stream for a buck. How stupid are you? When you ask for contributions, you ask for tips so you can buy groceries. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but if that's not retarded, I don't know what is.
Pedacito. I don't know. I don't know how to say this in Spanish. But anyway, they did 100-bit cheer and says, hey, Phil, do you speak Italian or Spanish or know any phrases? Like, help me, please. It's very important. He says, ayúdame por favor es muy importante. That's help me, please. It's very important. Yes, because I just read it. I can understand basic Spanish. I can read basic Spanish. I cannot say it. Like, if you just said to me, Phil, how do you say, help me, please? It's very important in Spanish. I would have no clue how to do it, but I could read it and understand it. Okay? So there's your answer. Now,
Isn't this the same guy who told us that because he learned Latin, I think it was either in high school or college, I can't remember now. My apologies on that. But because he has a grasp on Latin, that he basically has a grasp of most languages. He made it sound like he was like this linguist and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was this snorty savant or some shit. But over time, though, that shit started to diminish rather quickly. For example, in one of Tevin's recent Back in Times or whatnot, Phil talks about his... sorry, I know people don't like me doing that, my bad. But it's a quick reference. Phil was going over his degree, his college degree, right? And how he was talking about how it was in Latin, but he couldn't read it. But see, that's funny though, because Tevin actually went ahead and did this twice. There was 2 separate videos from 2 different years when Phil did the condo tours. First year, Phil was like, "Oh, this is my college degree. It's written in Latin. If you don't know what that is, well, too bad. Learn how to read fucking Latin." The next year, he's like, "Here's my college degree. It's in Latin. I don't know what it says." Yikes.
Italian? Man, Italian's close to Spanish, but there are a lot of differences between the languages.
Ayúdame, por favor. Es muy importante.
So usually I can decipher general meanings of Italian words, but sometimes I have no idea. So, mature adult cheer. This is just... What the fuck? I guess mature adult's taking a huge dump. And he felt like telling us. Thanks for the cheer.
Lol.
What? This guy is like an idiot. Listen to this. This guy's completely wrong. He tipped me $1. He says, PayPal will charge the same flat fee for multiple dollar transactions, resulting in it being the same no matter how much more you tip. It's special for people who stream. Stop it and being dishonest with people. I know this. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong.
Really?
That is 100%. I don't know who told you that. There's no special arrangement that PayPal has with streamers. PayPal has no idea if you're a streamer. All they do is track your transactions. There is a 30-some cent charge, flat fee, for every transaction via PayPal. And if someone tips a bunch of dollars, you only get 60-some cents per tip. Versus if someone tips $5, they only take the 130-cent transaction fee, and you'll get $4.60-some cents. What you're saying is 100% wrong. That is completely a lie. And if you have no idea what you're talking about, you should keep your mouth shut. Trust me, I used to do the same thing. Talk directly out of my rectum and look like a fool on stream.
You still do. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny any of that, to be honest with you. I would say that as it pertains to PayPal not knowing if you were a streamer or not, if you're someone, Phil, who has chargebacks and whatnot and has talked to PayPal before about people trying to charge back on you, on how saying that, oh, well, the chargebacks were based on, oh, well, he was supposed to send me an item and he didn't. And Phil tells us, and he has told us, that no, I call PayPal and tell them I'm a streamer and they're trying to charge money back that is a tip, a donation, a contribution. Then that kind of is in a direct contradiction to what you're saying. 2, one frame of thought is that it doesn't matter that he's a streamer. The fact is that PayPal understands that Twitch is a streaming site, and through that site they go through them for tips. So there would be some type of arrangement there. But yet again, I don't know enough about that to actually comment on it either which way. I do know that Phil getting defensive like that and going to what Burnell had just said about this wouldn't be the first time Phil has hid information does raise some eyebrows. But yet again, these are one of the problems that Phil has. Even if he's telling the truth, it's always going to be interpreted as a lie, either which way. And let's be perfectly honest, not every Twitch streamer has their shit set up the exact same way. I'm sure the big ones, the big Twitch streamers have something completely different than everybody else. Let's not fool ourselves completely on that. But I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll let you know. DSP News.
On video every single day on YouTube. I stopped doing that because I wanted to look like an asshole. So you should stop looking like an asshole.
Okay. PW Dubs tipped me $1. He says, the reason why I tip dollars is because I get more bang for my buck. I can ask multiple questions, but I'll take your advice now and I'll do larger tips. Thank you for that.
I understand. Like, a lot of people would probably just come in and say, I'm just going to tip a bunch of bucks so I can ask a couple questions. I get that. But the thing that concerns me is, for example, right now it says I have $12 in tips for the day. It's bullshit. I probably have about 6 or 7.
I need more money. I don't stream to make money.
Because everyone did dollar tips. And that's the problem, is there's a misconception about how much I make. A lot of people completely over-exaggerate stuff. Because it's wrong, because all those dollar tips are only 60 cents. And it sucks on a day that looks like I'm doing really well, and then I actually go look, and I'm like, how the hell did I make so much less? And it sucks. But that's just the matter-of-fact way about it. I get the feeling that there are people who don't know that. You know, I certainly almost never mention PayPal transaction fees. So, this being one of the rare times that I have, hopefully that educated a few people. Okay? Alright, got a dollar tip from someone named Hello saying Snort entered the chat. Okay, great. Thank you, Hello, for the dollar tip. And thanks for Snort entering the chat, whatever the fuck that means. See-through tip me $1. His tips are mandatory because you wouldn't stream if you weren't making money since you're doing this full time. That's false. If I wasn't doing this for a job, I would go get another job and I would still stream. That's the truth. I certainly wouldn't be full time.
Then why haven't you?
You're right. And obviously, when you do something for a job as a professional, you're expected to make money doing it, or else why you can't keep doing it like that, right? Like I said early on in this pre-stream, I'm one of the people lucky enough that my actual hobby is now my job. It was never intended to be that way. It just worked out that way. So, wrong. Tips are not mandatory. If, for some odd reason, overnight, I was not able to make any money on Twitch, I would have to go find another job, but I would continue to keep streaming, just at a reduced capacity. So, thank you for the dollar tip. You're completely and utterly...
Despite the fact that he told us multiple times that he can't get a job, because if he did get a job, he would stream less, and if he had to stream less, he would never make enough money to cover all of his debts and all of his bills. Despite the fact that he failed at both of those anyway, hence the reason why he's about to lose everything anyway. Sounds to me like someone who didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And they're going to pay for it. And in the worst fucking way possible. Cheers to that, I guess.
Wrong. Okay. So you don't have it, tip me $1 saying, you think we're joking about the coronavirus, man? But you think it's a joke, but look how many times you choked during the stream today, man. Get yourself checked, man. Okay, thanks. I will. I'll get myself checked. Please send me the $500 to pay the doctor for the checkup. Since it won't be a routine health checkup, it'll be something special to get checked for the virus. I'm expecting that money in the mail, and then I'll go check the doctor, or I'll go check with the doctor. Thanks.
Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit.
Oh boy, that was special. Especially since if you did send him the $500, he would tell you that he's okay. Wouldn't even mention Catherine, but he would say he's okay, but thanks for the tip. Oh, by the way, when you send him a tip, no matter what the amount is, he's going to go ahead and say, it's my money and I can do what I want with it. And then you charge that bitch back and then he cries about it. And then he'll lie about it. And then he'll cry about it some more. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get into our second and last tasty advertisement for the broadcast, because that's always fun. And we'll see you guys literally in a few minutes for the last video of the broadcast. Here we go.
Gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
Oh, yes!
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
No third eye.
Absolutely amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the last video that's going to make up our broadcast, brought to us by SnortBucks. SnortBucks. DSP. I'm better than Bad Bunny. Money comes naturally, and more fundraising on the way. This is from January 24th of 2020, our current year of gout. Here we go.
I did not see any clip of another streamer losing her mind on stream. I don't want to see it. It was basically, people were tweeting me on my day off about it, and I didn't care about it.
Despite the fact that on the last video of the broadcast, he referenced it. But he didn't see it. He don't know shit about it. But now we're getting into that little gray area about, oh, people have been tweeting it at me. Sure.
About it, and I have nothing to do with it. And then people start insulting me and saying that I'm her and stupid shit. I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit about any of this stupid shit. I'm not getting involved. Then people start asking me, what do you think of an attitude of people owe you subs? I said, absolutely not. No one owes me anything, Now, I put out free content. If people like the content enough, if they find it entertaining enough, right? That, wow, someone's providing free content for me all the time, and I want that content to continue. I like that person and their personality, and I want to see them succeed. I'm going to contribute during a stream. That's completely their prerogative. It's their choice. No one should ever feel pressured.
Come by, say hello, and contribute. Only tipping that's going to help. Now, if you absolutely cannot make it to the stream on Saturday, all right, you can still leave a tip.
Into doing something that, just because they're not doing it doesn't mean that their viewership isn't valid. Like I said, I made YouTube videos for 2.5 years as a fun hobby, just messing around, that before I even thought that to monetize it, And I only started monetizing my shit because it was a challenge.
Ah, yes. Thank you yet again, Burnell and whatnot. As I've been saying, he's been making money off vlogs from the beginning. And like I said, he was getting donations through PayPal. And this was something that was widely known. There was a lot of detractors who knew this shit. So what the fuck is he talking about? He has videos out on DarkSydePhailure and I think in early Dspgaming on both of those channels respectfully that have videos with him talking about it. He really thinks people are idiots. He certainly thinks his fan base are idiots. And that's why he hates detractors. Because the last thing he needs is someone who has a long memory who can bring that shit up. Fucking moron. But it's still entertaining though. Who doesn't like to see bacon squirm?
Chance that I lost my office job and I needed to find something to do in a short term. I didn't know that it was going to turn into a job and shit.
Well, then that didn't fall into your lap, then, did it? Because which is another discrepancy to the piggy lore, is he went back to YouTube because he was already making money off of YouTube. He hits them with a sob story, and these people just kept throwing more money at him. Kids were probably jumping in, grabbing more of mommy's credit cards. Hey, Derek. And making that shit happen until he was able to turn it into a job, until he fucked himself on the Google AdSense, went to Blip, fucked Blip up, because that's what Phil's good at doing. Everything he touches, he fucks up. Then came back to YouTube, begged Hutch for a job, and then and then the downfall for Phil Burnell's life just started from there. I'm telling you guys, YouTube was the worst thing that ever happened to him. It was the worst thing that ever happened to him. It really was.
Incredibly entitled, insane mentality that you think that you're like God's gift to the world, that just because you turn your fucking stream on, people should start throwing you money. It's stupidity. And what I've said is, on streams where I typically am having a good time and my viewers are having a good time,
contributions come in naturally.
Yet again, I thought we didn't know what was going on. We don't pay no attention to that dumb shit, but yet he's literally telling you what happened and what's going on.
Hear it constantly be saying, support me, support me, support me, support me, support me, support me. I need your help. Outside of just being a stream watcher or video viewer, there are other ways you can contribute to help ensure that I can continue to do this for another, however long. Another 10 years, maybe 20, who knows? Who freaking knows what the future holds? I need your help. I still need your help. I'm going to need your guys' help. I really am. I'm going to need your support. I need it. This helps immensely. The money helps me out tremendously.
I have to. But that's the thing. These people don't realize that. And then they come out with these nasty things they say and go viral. Now, guess what? Guess who's going to get even less support now because of saying that? You see? It's stupidity. Then again, I've been around the block, and I'm certainly not a person who's never said stupid shit. I'm sure if you go back in my history in the past, you'll find incredibly stupid things that I said that I regret. But it's not my mentality anymore. Ever since I became a full...
Sure it isn't. But actually, he does bring an interesting point that was off-hooved that I would like to kind of address a little bit. Because ham hocks aren't on the menu right now. When someone like a Bad Bunny, for example, does say some silly shit like that, it doesn't just affect her. You know what I'm saying? As pathetic as that was, that whole thing that she did was dumb. and whatnot. And then her trying to turn around and say that she was joking was even more pathetic. But whatever. It doesn't just hurt her. It shit rolls downhill. So Wings, LTG, people like that, they kind of catch the blunt of that too, if you think about it. Because they're kind of all lumped up into that same shit, shit pool, if you will. Or inside of that shit pit. So it kind of just makes all of them look like fucking ass clowns. Which Phil was right. It doesn't just affect her. Which is he was trying to imply that it only makes her look stupid. But in actuality, it makes all of them look stupid. Because all of them are known as lolcows. And they're all known as lolcows who beg for money in some way, shape, or form. Yikes. DSP News.
Time streamer, things definitely changed a lot for me. My eyes were kind of opened to how content creation works and interactivity and actually, having meaningful interactions with my viewers. Before it used to be make an offline video for YouTube, there's no interaction at all, right? And now it's like, dude, it's kind of like hanging out, it's having a good time with somebody. That's what it should be. I don't know how you can have...
Actually, let's go ahead and break that down for a minute. In actuality, when he was playing games offline, as he likes to refer to it, in actuality, he was playing with somebody. Whether John, whether Howard, whether OJ, some FGC buddies, or Panda. Now, he's saying, it's like hanging out with people now and everything. All he did was replace all of those people who are no longer associated with him or don't talk to him or just no longer with him with the stream chat. That's all he did. That's all that transition is. It's really, really pathetic the way he makes it sound, but in truth, in reality, all he did was replace one group of people with another. That's it.
A good time with someone if they're literally guilt tripping you and telling you to pay them every 5 seconds. Like, that's kind of fucked up,
I really need your support. This is it. This is the most important stream coming up I've ever done because I need to raise these funds, and if I don't, I'm done. I'm probably going to have to sell my house and have a horrible year where there's going to be all kinds of less streaming because I have to move and figure stuff out. It's not going to be good, okay? It's going to be very stressful.
Well, here's the thing. Can you seriously imagine? I'm dead now. Finally, someone shot me in the ass. Can you imagine if I ever was like that on a stream, with all the shit that people say and do about me over the years? Can you imagine if on a single stream I would have been like that crazy demanding and been like, you absolutely need to contribute and you're ungrateful, you're a bum, you're a poor, you're a slob if you're not subbing to my channel? That's crazy, That's crazy. I'm sorry, it just is. That's like nuts. I'm super happy that people support me and want to see this continue, that people absolutely love it.
Anyway, thanks to everyone who was here tonight. Thanks to everyone who hung out with me. And thanks to the very few people who contributed. I don't know what happened tonight. I don't know why this was like a super slow. Everyone's loved this game up to this point. I did. I thought the stream was great. So I don't know why it was so slow tonight. But it is what it is, I guess. Again, thank you very much to everyone who did contribute on this night stream, even though it was a really slow one. I can't control it. It seems like we were having a good time. We were having fun interaction. And sometimes, I guess, people contribute and sometimes they don't.
Weird way of trying to justify interaction or what he interprets to be interaction. People giving you money isn't interacting with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that blunt. You know what I mean? It's not so much of a disconnect like that. But that's how he interprets it because that's how he's comfortable. That's what he's comfortable with. He's not comfortable with actually talking or interacting with any of those people. Not really. That's why his mood and his attitude and everything changes when money is placed into that equation. When it's a factor, it makes it worthwhile. He doesn't give a shit about these people outside of that. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for sub badges and cheer badges and shit like that, he would look at all of them as peons. In actuality, they all are peons to him. You're just a peon who gives a little more than somebody else. That's it. And to be honest, why would you want to get close to him? Look at what he did to Brightside Viking. And despite whatever you think about Brightside, the dude was loyal to, at least to Phil, to a fault. And look where it got him. Got that blood eagle treatment in front of everybody. And if it wasn't for Kiwi Farms, he would have been left for dead. Which is funny, because he didn't threaten people and their families on that site. So, imagine how that all played out.
I can't control that. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day, I guess, right? I mean, thanks to everyone who hung out with me and contributed. It was a pretty slow night, to be completely honest with all of you. It's so weird that I could do like chill streams of stuff that don't have any action or anything like this, and people are very excited and they talk to me and they engage with me and they contribute. Then I play a game like this, action-packed and like slow. I don't know what to tell you. Just a reminder, guys, if you want to help me out, and please, if you can today, please tip me. Like I said, yesterday tips were really, really light, and tomorrow I'm actually going out earlier than usual this week. So any tips you today are going to directly help me like afford my groceries and stuff tomorrow. So please tip me if you can today, okay, guys? Tips were pretty slow.
So
today.
yet again, Bad Bunny made herself look like a complete and total twat, understandably so, and whatnot. Had a lot of anger, had a lot of whatever. Said there was a joke. It wasn't. It is what it is. This idiot would rather feed you bullshit about give me money so I can buy groceries a day earlier than usual. And that makes him any better. I really don't even care how Bad Bunny delivered it. Like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, what do you expect? Like, she's starting, I mean, if anything, she's trying to put herself in a league of her own with that shit. The thing is, though, is she can't brush that shit off. That's just going to follow her everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Once you get labeled the X version of DSP, it's kind of, you're done with that. If that's a wrap for you, you automatically get dismissed and whatnot. It's like, oh, she's just another locale. And that's it. You do, in proof of that is look at Low Tier God. He's been trying to fight that shit since he started. And he can't shake it off. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of moves with it. You have no real choice. But it doesn't really matter how the delivery system is implemented. It's still the same shit. What she said and what DSP said is really no different. Tone might be different. Wording might be slightly different, but it's still the same shit. Most people would even give Bad Bunny credit because at least she was more direct about the shit. I don't know how she could call all those people losers, you know what I'm saying, when they're on your streams all day. But then again, you're the one who's mad because you only had 16 subs. I mean, I don't know what's more pathetic, but it's all pathetic, really, at the end of the day. If you think your time is so valuable, then do something else, if you can. And that's kind of the problem, is it? They really just can't.
Okay. Hopefully tomorrow we can pick that up a little bit because that helps me out with my coming week. And my day out, I pay with stuff with tips. So hopefully things like that will pick up tomorrow. Again, thank you guys who have contributed tonight. I really do appreciate it because, like I said, today was overall a very slow day for contributions. So any contributions you're lending tonight are helping me out tremendously. Okay, thank you for that. And today was a very slow day contributions-wise for some reason. I can't control that. Some days are great, some days aren't so great. And,
Wow.
This guy, Stream Sniper got me. And don't ask me how he actually shot me from that distance with what sounds to me like a fucking handgun. But anyway, Dark Spirit Snort has invaded. Nice. It's obviously a troll. Snort. What an asshole.
And Alfred Aponte tipped $1.30 and says, let me redeem myself. Thank you, Alfred Aponte. You guys are being very nice now, so if you're wondering why everyone's tipping $1.30...
Yeah, he completely botched this. Like, because he has no situational awareness is one thing. And that, too, he's stupid. He's very stupid. But he's very, very stupid. He's been playing this game for how long? And he's still, even basic shit he doesn't know how to do. He thinks all he can do, all he has to do, is pick up a gun and shoot. Like, dude, there's equipment in this game you could use too, and he never uses it. But really, he very rarely used it in Blackout. And I think he may have used it a couple of times in Modern Warfare, if he didn't flash bang himself, which is hilarious. He's a blunt instrument. That's basically what Phil is. He's a tool. He's a blunt tool. And that explains, in a lot of ways, why he is what he is. And that's why he runs to retro games or more of the easy, what he perceives to be easy childlike games, because he thinks it doesn't require much of him. And then when he fails at it, he gets frustrated because the game should be super easy and it wasn't. Go back to the Lion King streams. Go back to the Aladdin streams. Jesus Christ, he shouldn't have been fucking that stuff up. Those weren't hard games. But somehow Phil Burnell found a way to fail at it and had to depend on save states to save his ass. When most of you who are listening right now beat that shit when you guys were kids. Amazing.
Oh my god, this game's so bad! I can't even shoot straight! By the time the bullets come out of the gun, no one's even near me! Oh, what the fuck? I can't fly this weapon!
Look at how he fucked that up. I mean, if you guys saw it. I mean, look, that was... Yikes.
Holy shit, that's terrible gameplay. Take a paycheck for that, huh? Accept a paycheck for that quality gameplay right there.
None of us can hit each other! Oh my god! Well, those are the stream snipers. There's another one over here, I think. I can't fire the weapon at all. The game is terrible, dude. Everything I do is so delayed, there's no way I can hit anybody. So, the reason that it took me $1.30, because earlier today, a lot of people tipped me $1 on the pre-stream. And I was like, I don't know if you guys are aware, because you guys were, they were all being, it wasn't like troll tips, they were all supportive tips. I was like, just so you guys know, the way it works is every transaction via a tip, basically PayPal takes like 30 to 35 cents or something like that. So if you tip me $1, I only get like 60 cents. Now,
Did you guys catch that? He's like, everybody's being super supportive and, a bunch of $1.30 tips. They weren't troll tips, they were really supportive tips. So is he going to try to flip it that if anybody gives him $1 tip, you're a troll? And those who give $1.30 tips are his actual fans, the legitimate fans, those who actually love him and care for him and want to see him succeed? Is that how he's going to flip that? Probably not. But it'd be interesting to see it, though.
if you tip me like $5 to $10 all in $1 increments, that means I only get like $6. But if you tip me $10 as like one thing, I'll get like $9.60. See what I mean? Like, it's a lot more. PayPal takes a ton of processing fees when you do those smaller tips. So PW Dubs spoke up. He says, well, the reason I like to do it is because I actually like to get a lot of interaction with you. I have a lot of different questions, and if I do dollar tips, I can ask you multiple questions. I said, fair enough. That makes sense. But now he's actually being a nice guy. He's like, well, I feel bad about that stupid transaction fee, so I'm actually going to tip you $1.30 so it covers the transaction fee. That's awesome. So thank you not only to Alfred Aponte, who tipped $1.30, but PW Dubs, who's also doing that tonight as well.
Federal gout investigation tipped me $1 and says, Phil, I am a Detective Tyrone. I would like to have a word with you. You can have a word with me whenever you'd like. Go ahead and have a nice gout investigation into me. Go right ahead.
Into me? Oh, I mean, I get it. I'm being a dick, but Jesus Christ.
Thank you for the $1 tip. So now, to end the stream, direct comparison. Fun, interactive stream. People having fun. Yes, people were trolling me. You roll with it. You have fun. You make the best of it. I'm playing a game I don't even like, but we're having fun. We're interacting. We're having a good, positive stream. People tend to step up and contribute.
Then why don't you play Blackout then, if you don't like this? Oh, that's right, because you don't like Blackout either. You don't like any shooter games. You just have it in there to give the illusion of variety. If he could play Street Fighter every night and get paid well for it, he'd do it. He'd do it, and he knows that. He tried it for a while. Didn't work.
When they're having a good time. Versus a stream where I could have just been sitting here and been like, ew, you're poor and you're not subbing because you're a cheapskate and a cheap ass.
I thought you didn't know anything about the scenario. You didn't care about it, and that's not your problem, nor is it your business. But now we're laying out the scenario, though. We're laying out the situation, I should say. Okay.
And you're ripping me off because you're watching my stuff and you're not subbing to my channel. Do you see the difference? Do you see how much more fun a positive atmosphere is versus a negative reinforcement atmosphere? It's positive reinforcement atmosphere, negative reinforcement atmosphere. Completely different situations. It's actually very similar to the workplace. A boss who gives positive reinforcements to his employees for doing things and rewards them for doing things well.
I joked about this not too long ago, that he looked at them as nothing more than employees, basically. Worker bees, if you will. Holy shit. That's kind of funny. Terrible comparison, but alright. I've made bad ones too, so it is what it is.
That's awesome stuff. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun now, really seriously, and I cannot wait for more. This is cool because I'm getting that positive vibe that I had for most of 2017. I'm getting it back now. Now I'm getting that groove back, getting that vibe back. I'm ready for fun stuff. I hope you guys are ready too. Versus someone who negatively reinforces and chastises and yells and threatens. It's different. When you're feeling good and positive, you want to have more fun. You want to contribute. You want that stream to continue because you had a good time on it. Do you think anyone on a stream where they're getting talked down to is having a good time? Of course not. And that's not the kind of stream that I want to create. I'm the lol cow. DarkSydePhailure the lol cow. They just like to laugh and he's the lol cow or whatever, right?
Freddie B did a 100-bit cheer. It's the top cheer of the day. He says, why don't you have a tips goal for the amount of your own back taxes? Why be aloof about that? Well, Freddie B, first of all, I don't even know what you mean by back taxes. Like, I have no idea what you mean by that. Are you talking... Yeah, like, there's so many taxes. There's state taxes. There's federal taxes.
How many taxes are you behind on, idiot? This isn't hard to figure out. And he's trying real hard to try to shape the narrative. Are you behind in more than one tax, idiot? Because you kind of already admitted that you haven't been paying your federal. I mean, you theoretically should have already been done with the business or with the state and occupation tax. Like, how fucked are you? Let's continue.
There's property taxes. There's a million taxes. So, I don't know if you're just referencing what I said earlier, where I said, oh, sometimes your tips pay taxes or whatever. The truth of the matter is, I won't exactly know what I owe in taxes coming up until my taxes are filed, which won't happen until probably late February, early March, because I give all the information to my tax guy in February, and he does all the work, and then usually by early March I have all the information of, you know, what I owe and all of that. Of course, truth of the matter is, I owe a ton because I had no money this year to pay any of it, because as you know, that's one of the reasons I'm declaring bankruptcy. I have no money.
Don't have money to do it. I 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 don't have money to pay my fucking taxes.
All my money was going to unsecured debts and bills, and I had no money to pay taxes because I was so much up to my head in debt. So, you know, that being said, more than likely what's going to happen is that this year, the same thing that happened last year, they'll put me on another payment plan if I can qualify for it, which I don't know if I'm going to. If I don't qualify for it, chances are they're probably going to put me on, like, they'll put a lien on my house or something, right?
Well, why would they put you on a payment plan, though? If the last payment plan you were on, you didn't actually pay it. You didn't actually utilize it. Why would they put you on another one? And that's just hypothetical, of course. Hypothetical pignosis, basically. Like, why would they put you on another payment plan if you couldn't come through on the first one? Just saying. Man, it's like peeling an onion. It really is. Oh boy! Just when you think you've cooked a decent amount of bacon, there's just even more bacon, even more flavorful bacon, if you will, to cook up after that. It's quite the job, but I'm up for the task.
Which is bad, but it's certainly not awful. It's not like they're going to try to take my house just for 1 year taxes or anything like that. My hope here is that, you know, declaring bankruptcy like I'm doing, I don't have to pay my debts anymore, the unsecured ones, and I can put that towards taxes, which is what it should have been going to the entire time. So instead of all my money being pissed away to loans and credit cards and stupid shit every month, now that money can go towards the taxes, and then hopefully, within 1 to 2 years here, I can get caught up on everything, and then when I'm back at square one, then I'll be fine. The problem is, you know, I got a long road ahead of me in order to get to square one, which sucks. So, when you're saying, oh, you know, why don't you just put up a tips goal for your back taxes? I don't even know what they are right now. I'll probably know or have a better idea within the next couple of months.
And yeah, being very matter of fact, I'm probably going to be doing special events to say, hey, if you want to help me out, you know, you guys know my financial situation. I've been transparent with you, and this would help me out tremendously. If, you know, we could raise a certain amount in a certain amount of time, I'll probably try to do it. But for now, that would be pretty dishonest for me to try to do anything when I have no idea what it's going to be. You know. So there you go. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. by eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's just fucking special. Give me a second. We're gonna clean up a little bit, and then we'll be back for closing thoughts. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's play something cheerful.
Word, hey, chopping it with Mittens, joking about his name is so fly. Mittens, cause he whipping, don't you get it, but that stove's hot, hot. Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling and hitting his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, scalding high.
All right. Wild stuff. Absolutely wild, silly shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Burnell yet again. Very much appreciate it. Let's go ahead and run down the gamut, shall we? All right, so let's see. Give me tips bigger than $1. He's tried this before. He tried this last year in 2019, and he tried it in 2018. It'll work for a little while, and then it'll fade out. So, I mean, for any pay piggies out there in the audience, good luck to you, but you know you're not going to keep that up very, very much longer, because what's the point? It's frivolous, to say the very least. Don't drive yourself into debt 30 fucking cents at a time to help this ass clown out. Let's see. I don't demand money for my content. Yet again, he's had a please support, a help, an emergency video telling South Galtopia, YouTube, to step up quite a few times. So, you know, he can take that shit and eat it. Let's see here. Oh, I'm better than Bad Bunny? Not really. I still think fundamentally he's worse than Bad Bunny, but it's cut almost from the same cloth. It's still the same shit. The delivery system's different, but it is what it is. And the fact that she wasn't even woman enough to hold to that shit and try to back it up and say it was a fucking joke makes her that much of an ass clown. So it is what it is. Let's see. Money comes naturally. If begging comes naturally, if lying comes naturally, then I guess sympathy bucks come naturally too. So there you go on that. And more fundraising on the way. Why wouldn't it be? Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched an individual literally fuck up every aspect of his life, which is the most important aspects of your life to some degree is your finances. He can't even manage that. He couldn't manage a YouTube channel or a YouTube, I'd say this with a chuckle because it's hilarious. He couldn't manage a YouTube business consisting of 3 channels. He couldn't manage that. And this was paying him 6 figures. He didn't need Twitch. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really need Patreon. He was just greedy. And he somehow fucked it all up. And he screwed up from the beginning. He didn't save any of his money. He didn't invest money back into the quote-unquote business. And he pissed off the very people that were the most important aspects of his business. The clients, the customers, the fans, whatever. And now he thinks he's going to extract his vengeance on them by making them pay. He's been doing that for years. His begging has been in heavy rotation, at least since, well, I think it's fair to say like 2016, but definitely 2017 was a wild ass year. 2018, 2019 were nuts. And he still figured out a way to fuck all that up. It is what it is. Like I said, let him drown slow for all I care. So it is what it is. But I'll keep reporting on it though, because why not? Failure is somewhat entertaining, coming from someone who says he's so much smarter than everybody. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's so much more successful than everybody. He knows what he's doing, and he's about to lose everything because he knew what he was doing. Sounds poetic and it sounds fair to me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whatever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DsP News, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG. Yeah, holy shit. GTG Networking Productions for the Snort Report and SnortBucks Coffee. I've been your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Holy shit, it's early. I'll get it right next time, though. in the broadcast. Holy shit, that's fucking crazy.
And it don't stop. And it don't stop. Hey, hey. Word, hey, chopping it with Mittens, joking about his name is so fly. Mittens, cause he whipping, don't you get it, but that stove's hot, hot. Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling the hit in his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, scalding hot beats, was blow up before it's cooking. Ooh, I know you're looking true. I'm out taking with this beat, I'm a lady man. I'm really trying to date it out. What's the number trying to call out? What about my team? Wood, shout it, don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick of squirrel with the biggest girls. Laces the case get up. I think it's stripping, girl. Damn, how sound that cliche, right? Well, I flame out brain. I'm the PK type. Come and rest in my nest. I'ma bet that night. Metaphor, girl, you gon' get that pipe. Whoa, wrong song. I'm thinking about bum bum. Chicka, wow, wow, the calling of my slong. The snapping of her thong. The rapping of this song. So tell you this boy's gifted, giving you my own. So, hey, now what's better than that? Hey, hey, now what's better than that? Hey.